Last time on I Pickleball, we visited the Huntsman World Senior Games. This month, we traveled to North San Diego County and Surprise, Arizona to meet longtime pickleball ambassadors Bob and Bev Youngren. I Heart Pickleball is powered by Highlands Leg Cramps, proud supporter of pickleball players everywhere.
I'm Beverly and Bob Youngren, and we met in high school way back in the 1960s. So we are one of those high school sweethearts. And then we went our own ways after graduation for a little while, and then we hooked back up and we got married.
Yeah, she couldn't live without me, so I came back. So
we just celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary.
She was my best buddy, and I don't think I'd ever get rid of you, would I? No.
We came from Inglewood, California, and then we moved down here to North San Diego County, where we basically have raised the kids, had an avocado ranch, and then we spend part of our winter in Surprise, Arizona at Happy Trails.
I've always played tennis, tried to make a living at it, and taught tennis. I had a bunch of wrist surgeries, and so my tennis career was over. We were at a campground, Thousand Trails campground in Bend, Oregon, and I was sitting there and some guy walked up and poked me and said, "Hey, mister, you want to play pickleball?" And I said, I don't think so. And he said, "Really, it's a game." Showed me how to play. The next day I said, "Bev, you gotta come over." She said, "Well, yeah, let's go do it." So,
well, I was amazed because Bob played like 6 hours the first day and had no problem with his wrist. And as husband and wife, it's kind of fun to do a sport together. And then I played for a couple hours, and that was 14 years ago.
I had brown hair, I think. There was a fellow that got us into the Arizona Senior Olympics, so that's where I started playing, and Bev started playing competitively.
We only played it when we went to Arizona. There was nothing here. And so after 2 years of participating in ASO, then we decided it needs to be here in San Diego County. And so we introduced it to some friends and played at private courts. And then it just went from one thing to another, and now I think we have 20 different venues. And we started in 2006. So in 8 years, we've come a long ways in San Diego County. I think USAPA has done a wonderful job. I'm an ambassador for San Diego County. So with that responsibility, it allows me to meet new players.
The Youngrens are two of the first people that welcomed me here, as they do everybody. They are great ambassadors for the game. And I've enjoyed the 2-year relationship with them, and look forward to continuing on.
I think of Bob and Bev as really the ultimate ambassadors for pickleball. They are the parents of Jen LaCour.
When I think about my mom and dad, I think, boy, am I lucky. And to have pickleball in my life now, it's such a big part of their life. Of course, that's a big overlap. And so when I'm going to tournaments, we cross paths. And it's just such a blessing because we get to hang out together, and they are the best parents ever.
If anyone were to ask me, I would say Bob taught me the game. And Bob will say, "Oh my God, would you hit it like this?" Or "You need to do that.
Or move it, or what are you doing?
Yeah, get on the line, quarter turn."
Well, we started teaching, again, because of the tennis background teaching, which I loved. And then the pickleball, we started kind of informal here in San Diego. We just did some classes as people joined. We would give them classes. And then in Happy Trails, there's just tons of people. There's over 600 some members in the club itself. The pickleball club itself came and said, "Could you run a teaching class?" So today we run 100 to 125 students a day through there. There's every Monday. And then we started traveling and teaching. So that's where the teaching and going from the tennis teaching to the pickleball was kind of easy in that it's the same, come on, you got to get going, we got to do this, we got to, that type of stuff. And she's always helped me do that. So
the only thing I would change about the Youngrens is they're not here for me full time. They're RVers and they spend time in Arizona. I wish they were here all year round.
Many other communities are very envious of our good fortune to have the Youngrens here.
Bob and Bev are
great instructors here, but they also are a big part of our community, and they welcome everybody into their family.
I came here to Happy Trails about 8 years ago, and I found the Youngrens and the Happy Trails Pickleball Club, and the most wonderful instruction you could ever get. They start you at the beginning, take you all the way through. We've got everything from the first time paddle holders to medal winners, and it's great. They really take good care of us.
I also live part-time in Arizona, as does Bob. He gives like 3 classes a week, multiple hours a day. He's never charged for a class that I'm aware of.
There's a huge waiting list just to get into his lessons, and he does it for free, and he does it every week for 4 or 5 months.
People have asked us why we don't charge. As of now, we just feel that's our way to give something back to the sport. It just didn't seem right to charge anybody any money because we're having as much fun as they were. And we've continued that philosophy.
I'm in great demand because of the price. So it's fun. Again, it's giving something back. It's just been wonderful.
I look at the Youngrens as sort of the parents of pickleball. You know, they are incredible ambassadors and people that represent pickleball to me. They really are awesome.
They're just enjoyable people that love to pass their joy, and especially the joy of pickleball, on to others.
I think it's amazing if you actually try to figure out how many lives they have touched with their pickleball. Dad has always been adamant on teaching and sharing this freely, and he loves it. He's a great teacher, and he just does what he loves.
I find that pickleball players, regardless of what level, are so animated and so excited on the court. I love to listen to the laughter. I love to listen to all the silly comments that people come up with on the shots that they missed. And no matter what state we're in, the camaraderie is there as if we were part of that neighborhood, and it's fun. It's a great way to meet new people.
I think the pickleball has probably the best parts of tennis, you know, and the volleying, the quickness at the kitchen line, the strategy, because the court's so small, you have to kind of think of your shots. As you get older, it's kind of nice to be on that small court.
We're gifted in that we've had good health, good knees. Because we're blessed with the good health, it allows us to be out there and play as much as we have been. And we hope that we'll be one of those couples that can play when we're 90 years old. That'd be cool to be a 90-year-old player out there.
Yeah, I can't wait. The 70s are bad enough.
No matter where you are, pickleball can bring us together to celebrate community, learn new things, and have fun. If you know someone we should feature on a future episode, we would love to hear from you. All you have to do is send us an email and tell us your idea. This episode of I Heart Pickleball has been brought to you by Highlands Leg Cramps, America's #1 over-the-counter leg cramp medicine. For more information, go to highlands.com.